Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Ask Karl G. I'm Karl Greenwood, rider confidence coach, hypnotherapist, and performance horse trainer. If you've got any questions about rider confidence or anything that I do in my career, then ask away. What I'm going to do is put a little thing in the chat here, a little link, which will invite you to jump onto the broadcast, ask any questions that you've got. I've been running the Rider Confidence course in Hemel Hempstead for about 10 years, and between us we've had probably 3,000 people come through the Rider Confidence course. A huge amount of success, a huge amount of people saying that they've really benefited, it's transformed them. And I've also got a book that has hugely benefited a lot of people. So I've had a lot of conversations about rider confidence, the thoughts that go through our heads, the what ifs and everything else. So if you've got a question that's bothering you, then why not join me here on the show? So let's just put a little good evening, everybody. Good evening, Amanda and Heather, Jane, Jazz. Thank you. Pleased to have you here. So here we are. I'll just put in the link again to ask a question. If you hit that link, you'll be through to the broadcast studio, and I'll put you on. And there we are. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. So I'm currently developing a self-guided course called the online course, self-guided study course called the Mounted Division Ultimate Rider Confidence course, and we're about to launch it. I'm very excited. Oh, very exciting. We've done all the beta group testing that we're going to do, and we're going to launch it for real, which is jolly good. And every winter there will be a study academy where I will go through the course with a intake of people. However, I'm waffling, because the interesting bit is that as part of setting up any business, you need to know your market, how many people there are, the people who you want to help, how you're going to market to them, and not appear salesy, because you do have to market, because you're offering people an opportunity to improve their rider confidence. So there we are. I've been sitting in business meetings, mostly with Chris, if you all know Chris from Tech Explained, and so we're looking at the market and everything. So the point is that there's 1 million leisure riders in the UK, 1 million, and then there's another 3 million in the US, and then there'll be another million dotted around Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, all the other leisure riding areas. Excuse me. Sorry I'm late, by the way. This Ask Karl G show that used to be called Live at 5 got sacked of being called Live at 5 because it was never at 5. I'm going to do my best to make it at 5:30, but obviously I've just started. I didn't even know I was going to start. I just had the idea 2 days ago, and I already had a booking for a trick riding lesson tonight, so I'm afraid I'm a bit late. There we are. So I'm sure you can find it in your hearts to forgive me. So anyway, we were doing our market research. We came up with this 3 or 4 million people who are leisure riders, and of those 3 or 4 million people, they are doing thousands of hours of riding between them. That's billions of horse riding journeys every year. Billions. And do you know what? Those billions don't all get hurt, don't all die. What happens is 99.999% of them, the billions and billions and billions, go on a ride and come back. In fact, they're doing it now. Right now, there are millions of people out on millions of horses, and not all with the special equipment and everything. Some of them are working, some people going up mountains and through deserts, some people leisure riding, some people show jumping, everything you could possibly think of. Some people ploughing. Let's not forget the other little thing. They're not all having accidents. They're not all having accidents. Otherwise, we would know that horses are a bad idea. There are millions of people going about it right now. And do you know what's going to happen to those millions of people? They're going to go out and they're going to come back. That's it. That's why when you go for rides, most of the time, overwhelmingly, 99.999% of the time, all that happens is you go out and you come back. Whether you go out and come back going, hope I don't die, 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 and then come back is your choice because you're going to go out and come back anyway. Even when it goes wrong, usually you're all right. When you fall off, it's usually not air ambulances to hospital. It's usually rub your bum, maybe have a little cry, I'm a bit shocked, get back on the horse. There we are. In fact, there's so many people out riding now that since the start of this broadcast, a small percentage of the people going out have already fallen off. And you know what? They weren't all injured. Overwhelmingly, 99.999% of the time, when you fall off, you rub your bum, you go, oh, I'm a bit shocked, and you carry on. That's happened right now. Amazing. Amazing. Even when you do get hurt, 99.999% of the time, you're absolutely fine in terms of it's not an air ambulance to hospital. In terms of usually when I've been hurt, it's been bruises, sprains, cuts, limping around, maybe not making the tea for a week because the kettle's a bit heavy on my sore thumb. There we are. There we are. Then we get to the last little bit. The thing is, billions of rides are happening successfully. Millions of falls are occurring successfully, and thousands of injuries are just minor. And everybody takes those billions of successful journeys and completely ignores them and focuses on bad luck. Of course, there's a percentage of bad luck. Of course, there is. But there's bad luck in everything. There's bad luck in coming down the stairs. There's bad luck in driving a car. There's bad luck in crossing the road. There's bad luck in slipping off the curb. There's bad luck in slipping in the shower. There's a reason when you get a new pair of shoes, there's a reason why a little pack of silica gel has got a little logo on it saying do not eat. Yes. Bad luck happened somewhere. Someone somewhere looked at their shoes and went, oh, my shoes come with sweets. Millions of journeys, billions of journeys, thousands of falls. And it's overwhelmingly fine. This is why we ride horses, because horses are good for doing the thing that horses are good for doing the thing on. That's why we don't do dressage on lions. That's not good. That's bad. We ride horses because they're the safe option. They're safe in the same way that aeroplanes are safe. Yeah, we know that aeroplanes are safe. The statistics are it's the safest form of transport ever invented. It's way more safe than driving to the airport. And the fact is, it's way more safe getting on your horse and going for a ride than it is driving to the stables. If you were to gather all the injuries of the last year, all the A&Es of the last year, and put them all into a big stadium and go, right, hands up, who was on a horse? Someone put their hands up. And then you go, hands up, who was on a car or on a motorbike? And whoa, all the hands would go up. And there we go. There we go. What we're talking about is risk perception. You can change your risk perception by choice to make something that has a degree of safety seem even more safe or seem even more dangerous. By moving that risk perception, you can change how you feel about how safe or otherwise something is. There we go. So that's what we thought of today when we were thinking of our marketing strategies and how many people ride horses, how many people are out there now. Hello, right, let's see who's here. Hello to everybody, thank you very much about joining. Kerry Ford says she needs hypnosis. I've got an answer for that. You can buy it on the description of everything here, every YouTube, every Facebook. Underneath the description, I usually put the links. Every email I send out usually has the links to the hypnosis. There we go. Any ideas why we create scenarios in our head that have never happened and a way to put a stop to them before they gain speed? Let's just bob that up there. Why we create scenarios in our heads? Because we come from hello. Got a chicken investigating the power supply for the computer. Why we constantly focus on the worst is because we come from a primitive society, and it pays to look out for danger. When there's lions and tigers and bears behind every tree and bush, it pays to look out for danger. That's the way we're supposed to work. However, if you're going along and you see a garden hose and your primitive mind responds to danger and goes, "This is a snake," and you go, and then you realise, "Oh, it's a garden hose." Don't carry on then thinking it's a snake. And how the way to put a stop to them before they gain speed is to prepare. So change the what ifs into if thens. Yeah. So if you're constantly worried that A, B, or C had happened, do some research, find out what to do, practice it, practice everything, do your bite sizes, practice spooking. So if you're worried about spooking and, oh, my horse will spook and run off, well, do some small spooks that you've arranged that you can handle in a bite size that the horse can handle, and then conquer that little one. So if you're worried, oh, I'm going to meet a tractor, and the horse is going to cause absolute carnage because it's seen a tractor, well, how can we use our intelligent minds to change that what if I meet a tractor into if then? If I meet a tractor, then I'll do A, B, or C. I will focus on what I do want. I will go into the most wonderful extended trot, going with the head on the bit absolutely perfectly, and my posture's being absolutely perfect, and the consistent, or whatever it is you are doing. But I hear you cry. That's all right saying that, but it's not that easy, is it? It's not that easy. Correct. So let's make it easier. How can we make it easier? Well, what's the smaller bite size of a tractor? Well, if you're not quite prepared for a tractor, then perhaps we could do a ride on mower. Perhaps we could hire a ride on mower, get the horse used to that. Perhaps we could then work our way up over a season to do a little pattern with a ride on mower, and then maybe up the scale to one of those little garden tractors, up the scale to a little Massey Ferguson, feed the horses out of the bucket, scale it up, put in the effort. Because if you were getting hired for a film in 6 months' time and you were going to get paid £20,000, and this film was all about doing a quadrille act with tractors, it's a romance between farmers and horsey girls, and they end up, instead of arguing who can go over their fields, they end up doing this tractor quadrille. Do you get what I mean? If you had that, and there was going to be £20,000 to you and four mates to get their horses and do this quadrille for the actors, you would find a way to do that quadrille. I promise you, you would get out there and you would put in the effort and you would find a way. So if you're constantly worrying about the what ifs, get prepared if then. The way to stop them before they gain speed, well, you can already do that. You do it every day on Facebook. When you're going through Facebook and you see something that is someone being horrible to somebody, and you get it, don't you? You go along and then someone's being horrible to somebody, And you just go, oh, I can't think about that. You flick through it and you're like, oh, can't think about that. I'd be upset all day. And we already have the neural pathways to just get rid of negative thoughts and go, that's not going to do me any good whatsoever. And once again, it comes down to practice. So next time you see yourself doing that on Facebook, remember how that feels. Practice it. And when these thoughts come into your head, and they do come into your head, they come into my head, of course they do. But I know they're going to do me no good whatsoever. Going to do me no good whatsoever. So they have to go. I haven't got time to think about that. I'm prepared. I've done all the training that I need to do. It's not going to do me any good to imagine that an airplane is going to crash on my head. There we are. There we are. Okay, so we've got a guest. I know this guest from the Mounted Division Rider Confidence course, a beta group, and regular contributor to the show. Let me get rid of that. So there we are. Hi, Kerry. How are you?
Hi, Carl. I'm good, thank you. How are you? You what? Sorry.
Oh, have you got? We've got a delay.
Oh, we have. You sort of said something, and then I missed the end of it. It sort of the sound cut out. I could see your mouth moving, but there was no sound came through. I pressed on the link because a couple of people had commented that they couldn't click on the link. So I thought, oh, I wonder if it was working for me. So I clicked on it, and then I was going.
Super. Thank you very much.
So I thought I'd try it. And then as I was here, because you've been talking so much about the Mounted Division course, I thought, well, actually, while I'm here, I might as well come and say, if you've been talking about marketing, well, it's a fabulous course. So anyone who is umming and ahhing, do it. It's changed my life. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you very much.
Because not only, well, I mean, I've done a testimonial anyway, but not only did it get me sort of going forwards, and I was nervous about riding. Now I'm hacking out with people on my own. I'm cantering. But it's also, it gives you the tools to cope when you have a wobble. I mean, we spoke on a catch up a while ago where I was having a wobble. And also there was one occasion where my horse bolted with me, but I kind of used what I'd learned on the course to go, well, it was just one thing. It happened. I stayed on. I did the right things. Can treat it as that it happened, but it's not going to bother me going forward. And I've been out riding since. So it's, if anyone is thinking about whether to do the course or not, it is definitely worth it.
Thank you very much. Thank you ever so much. I think perhaps I ought to explain that in a previous life I was a hypnotherapist dealing with stress, anxiety, and depression, which deals with all these dealing with the what ifs, focusing on the negative, the way that our minds are designed to look after us. But of course, we have choice. So you can use another part of your mind to make that happen, and hypnosis to help back that up. Thank you very much. So, how easy was it to get on the course, get on the link?
On the link, it was easy. I clicked it, it brought me through to StreamYard, and then I joined.
Okay, lovely. So if anybody's got a question, Priya Joe says the subtitles are funny too. I put the automatic subtitles on Facebook, and they're automatically doing it, and I realised that they're not translating the speech very well at all.
Oh, right.
And it comes out really funny. And I thought, oh, that's not very professional. So I went to turn them off. I thought I'd leave them on because it's more funny to just leave them on. So there we go. So we're just finalizing.
I've come on through an iPad, so I don't know if that makes a difference to how easy, but that's how I've done it. So
super. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on and proving that. Thank you for the testimonial, and thank you for this testimonial as well.
No problem.
Lovely. And and also you've been keeping an eye on Lumi on the mornings as well, which has just been,
keeping up to date with him, bless him, which is
it's been absolutely super. Has it been interesting watching me go through my own insecurities after doing the rider confidence course?
Yeah, it's been, I mean, the thing I noticed a couple of times recently with the Lumi bit is where you thank people for their support. And I remember a few years ago when I lost my horse, obviously I wasn't doing lives, but a lot of people sent me messages, either on Facebook or other ways, and it felt really nice to know that people were thinking of you, even, you know, you weren't seeing them and stuff. So it's quite nice to get that feedback that you are obviously feeling that sort of
Yeah. No,
niceness from having the support of people that follow you.
it's lovely in the mornings when people are interested in the photos of his eyes. They seem to be not changing lately. But
No,
I'll still keep putting them on. The improvement was dramatic, which is good.
yeah,
I'm happy about that, and I imagine the last 10% will probably take 3 or 4 months to finally become normal. But yeah, it's been very interesting that I've had to take my own medicine in order to cope with a whole series of things that happened at the same time. The centre opened at the same time that
yeah,
Lumi went down, and it was also highly likely that Lumi was going to end up euthanized and put down. It's still possible, I suppose, but it's looking less likely. So yeah, it was very interesting for me to publicly go through a significant trauma, because it
yeah,
it would have affected our business. We've got a big gig. He's one of the main horses. He's the bravest horse. We can do all sorts of things on him, and he would not be replaced for many years. So it actually had financial implications for us as well.
yeah.
So
But also
yeah,
you had sort of the ultimate dealing with other people's opinions, because I remember early in the sort of people giving their opinions on what you should and shouldn't be doing, and
yeah,
I remember you sort of talking about that, and there were a number of people, not just me, sort of saying it's no one else's business, but it's something you've always said as part of the courses and the you know the your broadcast and everything, is that at the end of the day you're the one paying the bill, so it's up to you what you do with your horse. And that, I think, especially with a big decision like this, it's even more, it's a very personal, it's not even just the fact that you pay the bills, he's your boy, and you know there's lots of things that go into a decision, or you know all the decisions all the way through, and it's no one else's business.
mm,
But other people do have their opinions, and so you sort of had the ultimate level of dealing with other people's opinions in that respect.
yes, and I am in a situation where I can do nothing right. I will always, somebody somewhere will say you've done something wrong in the care of this horse, because everybody gets emotive about the care of horses, and yeah, the practice at doing your thing. I'm very lucky because my thing with horses is very weird and very different to quite a lot of other people's. So
Yeah,
I'm quite used to people not un people people cannot judge you. And this I've actually gone into the old life coaching. People cannot judge you until they've got the whole picture, and people cannot get the whole picture no matter if it's your mum. They're not going
yeah,
to get the whole picture. So
yeah,
it's down to you what you want to do with your horse. If a common thing is people saying, "Are you cantering yet? Are you jumping yet?" What that horse would really like a nice canter over these fields. That nobody's business if you
mm,
never get on it,
yeah,
because there's plenty of people who do ploughing and win rosettes and
yeah,
never get on it. So
yeah,
just because you understand the ploughing aren't going to get on it doesn't mean that you understand what somebody else is doing. It's you, it's your horse. You're the only two that matter,
yeah,
and that.
absolutely. But yeah, so it
Lovely.
has been interesting watching you having to deal with that kind of stuff in that public forum.
Mm. And it was when I was first writing my book, I had the same experience because, of course, when you start any new venture, it goes wrong. Orders aren't fulfilled. The books don't come. The
Mm,
printing's wrong. It's all that. You waste loads of money here, there, and everywhere. And I remember thinking, if I can sit on a horse that's throwing itself about, um, then I can sit on a business that's thrown itself about.
yeah,
So you can always take something from another one. So now I'm sitting on illness that's throwing me around. And if I can
Yeah.
cope by sitting on a horse that's throwing me around, sitting on a business that's throwing me around, then I can cope with an illness that's throwing me around, and
Yeah.
indeed other people's opinions that throw me around.
Absolutely.
Lovely. Thank you very
Cool.
much for joining us, and
Thanks, Carl.
I'll
I'm
see you
sure
soon.
we'll speak again soon.
Yeah, good. Keep contributing. That's marvelous. Thank you.
I will. Cheers. Bye.
Bye bye. So yeah, if anybody is struggling to get on the link, here's the link one last time. Copy to clipboard. There we are. So just before I go, if nobody else comes on with a question, that's fine. Just before I go, if you could all do me a huge favor and subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's been in existence for a day. It belongs to my sister, who is an incredible person. She works in the care industry. She's currently facing all the COVID things. She works with dementia. She knows a load about dementia. She's also an incredibly positive person, but has the same problems. Teenage kids, mum, work, being tired, all just normal problems. And she started this YouTube channel as part of a transformation of her life. And it's going to be fascinating. I'm helping her with it. It's going to be fascinating. It's called Dory Vlogs. So the link's there. I'll just write Dory Vlogs. So this is all secret. She doesn't know that I'm doing this. If you could possibly just bob onto that link, just give a like and a subscribe, and watch the very start of a YouTube channel which is documenting a whole. She's obviously having a exciting moment in her life where she's like, right, it's changing now. She did a very funny video about going to the Zumba class because, as part of her first video, she started talking about her Zumba class and found herself roped into it, and then was filming while she was trying to do the Zumba class and doing a little interview with the teacher. It's brilliant. So give her a little like. That'd be brilliant. And she doesn't know this is happening, so it'd be really lovely if you want to follow somebody who's positive and changing their life around. It's absolutely super. Okay, lovely. I'll just write that. It's called Dory Vlogs. And she makes me laugh. Okay, thank you, everybody. This has been episode 2 of Ask Karl G. And I'll be back. What have we got on tomorrow? No, tomorrow's good. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Sometimes I can't do Wednesdays because we have Rider Confidence, but we haven't tomorrow. So any questions? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Thanks for coming.